And we're coming back to you live from the park. I'm Zach.
And I'm Sean. Zach?
Yes, Sean.
Take out your phone. And look
I can look at
the
it.
picture I just sent you. Everyone, drum roll. Sean, you don't have that sound effect, but get it.
No!
My goodness, I died when I saw the blush and the folded arms.
The worst part is it's good.
It's so perfect.
You see,
PP is born.
if it was just a picture, I'd be like, oh, it's adorable. But because I know the context behind it, I hate it so much.
If that is not your new phone if that's not your background on everything, if that's not your profile picture on everything, I don't know what's wrong with you, man. That is perfection.
I can't. Clay will make fun of me.
Clay will make fun of you no matter what. You need to own up to it, man.
But I'm not a fan.
Oh my gosh, the doggo's coming here.
So fun.
Oh my gosh, it's happening again. It's happening again. Hello, doggo. Hi. Hi. It's so blurry.
I know.
There we go. Hello, doggo. Bye, doggo. Cool.
That dog is so cute.
Okay, cool. I didn't accidentally stop the recording.
Well, maybe you should have.
How exciting. Wow.
Yeah.
Why are you so salty today? What's wrong, man?
It was a great day until you showed me this.
What are you talking about? That's amazing.
That's the worst part.
Say thank you to Naomi.
Thank you.
I'm very happy with it. Thank you, Naomi. I'm very, very
I'll use
happy
it on
with
everything like Sean told me to.
Very good. If that is not your Discord profile picture, I'm going to be very angry. I'm
But
checking
then
it.
everybody's going to ask me about it. I'm going to be like, oh, kill me.
It must needs be, Zach.
I'll be like, that's pee-pee. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's pee-pee.
I think the best part is I forgot my own persona's name until you just brought it up again.
Hey man, you came up with that name. Feel proud of yourself.
It was something porcupine, right?
Purple.
Purple porcupine. that explains a lot. Dude, as you can tell, I'm very out of it today. I woke up with 2 minutes before class today. That's a whole...
That's what you were trying not to do.
I know, yeah. I went from 3 minutes to 2 minutes, so like we're getting there.
We're building.
The wrong way.
Yay.
Anyways.
So yeah, I guess that's that, huh? Okay, this stupid documentary you made me watch.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, before you get into it.
I told you I was going to just watch it in the background while I was doing math homework.
Right.
Guess how that went? It didn't. I was like, okay, I gotta pay attention to this crap now. So then an hour and a half later, I finished this documentary and I'm like, I can't touch technology. And then I look and I'm like, all of my homework is on the computer.
You're welcome.
There's nothing I had to go outside and just sit outside for a second, leave my phone in my room. I had to be like, oh my gosh, it's fine, it's okay, we're gonna be all right.
I broke Sean. So here's the story of how I came across it.
Okay.
My dad was actually recommended it by his boss.
Okay.
And then my dad watched it, and then he recommended it to our entire family at dinner. So I watched it, and so that made you watch it. So.
And then you pooped your pants?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Not sure that made any sense, but okay.
Wait, you didn't want that?
What can I say except you pooped your pants?
Oh. So for those of you, we haven't even mentioned the title of this thing yet.
Yeah.
It's called The Social Dilemma.
The Social Dilemma.
It's on Netflix.
If you want to
about technology.
It's one of those documentaries, kind of like the food ones, you know, where you're just like, wow, I never want to eat again. It's kind of like that, but not about food.
So what it's about is it is about a bunch of like ex-CEOs or higher-ups in technology companies like Apple, Facebook, Instagram, Google, and they basically give you insight of what happens there. And the programs that they program to keep you coming back, basically.
Mm.
And the other documentary, it follows a family, and
A fictional family.
yeah, it's a fictional family, and it like gives you
Kind of a concept. It helps give you a visual view of what they're trying to talk about.
A good visual representation of what's going on. So basically, oh.
Well, we'll see if we can hear that.
I mean, I think it's gonna be there.
Just talking about it made me poop my pants again.
Okay, before I get into my thoughts,
Yeah.
what were your impressions? What were some of the thoughts you had while watching it?
Well, maybe as like a basic overview, very, very, very brief. But like, I think one of the major concepts that they brought back was how the program is made to get more watch time, more views, and basically to be more addictive.
Right.
And so it's constantly analyzing what you look at, how long you look at it, what you come back to, and throwing those things back at you again. So that you'll
if something doesn't work, they throw it away, right?
Exactly. And then that way they can also keep plugging ads onto it, give you specific kinds of ads, and that way you always come back, which I mean, before this documentary, I always saw that as like kind of a good and a bad thing, because it's like, okay, it's a breach of privacy, but at the same time, like, I don't see things I don't want to see necessarily. Like, obviously there's mistakes in it, but like, it's good for me.
For the most part, it's something you're interested in.
Yeah, for the most part. However,
no, not so sure about that.
I mean, the way it framed it, like, they made it very clear that it's just like, it's there to addict you to it, and it's not like that's its. Well, no, that's what it's programmed to do, and it's not like it's trying to be malevolent about it, because it can't be. It's just a program, and that's what it's set to do.
They talked about how this computer program doesn't have morals. It can't have morals.
Yeah.
It's just doing what it's programmed to do. No, at all costs.
It's interesting because the day after I watched it, I had to do this reading for philosophy, and we're reading about the difference between like the mind and the brain and the soul right now. And this guy was talking about how I'm pretty sure that he was alive during like behaviorist psychology era, when a lot of people were like, the brain is a computer and you can program it to do whatever you want. And he was trying to like refute that. And he basically, the entire concept behind his thing was, a computer has like syntactic information. It takes things in and it gives outputs. That's all it does. While a human mind can give meaning to things. And I thought that was really interesting, especially after watching the documentary, because that's like the program, it just takes things in and it puts things out. And what it's programmed to do is to continually bring you back to your phone, to your social media page, whatever.
To make you see more ads.
So it's not necessarily malevolent in and of itself, but the things that it causes, and because of the meaning we prescribe to it, it can become very bad.
Right, and they even mentioned that, like, when they made these programs, they didn't have bad intentions.
Right.
Like the like button. When they made the like button, like, oh, we just want to like
share goodness.
Yeah, and then they correlated that to how the like button has, like, just social media in general has made the suicide rates go up drastically, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that I thought of, I think it's, okay, don't get mad at me if I say it wrong. I think it's Pavlov's dogs.
Yes.
Cause like they just get trained to ring the bell or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what. It's like the saliva. I don't know.
No, you're good.
It's like
keep going.
The thing, but that was my initial thought, was like, we're just being trained by social media.
Yeah, and it's crazy how they put it in like the documentary, because obviously the entire point of the documentary is like all these guys, they're like, we're scared of what this can mean. It's causing greater polarization. It showed like the examples of like the riots going on. It's spreading false information. And I mean, I've definitely felt that, where I'm like, I read stuff online and I'm like, well, I just have no idea what to believe, so I'm just not going to believe any of it, which is not helpful. And so, I don't know, it's crazy that all of it can kind of be pinpointed back to this. At the same time, I will say, I'm not entirely convinced it's the only thing to blame. I do believe it is a good factor, a large factor even. I don't think it's necessarily to the extent that they're saying in the documentary, just because the documentary's got to make things scary for the views. But I do think it is definitely a concept worth diving into more and yeah, stuff like that. Anyways.
So one of the things that like really got to me when I was watching it is that they said they know exactly how long you looked at a picture.
Right.
Like, to me, that was like, that's not okay. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah. Well, so here's a good anecdote for this.
Okay.
I was at work, I think, and I was scrolling through Facebook, and someone had posted some video of some rescue dog that was like horribly beaten, and then they like brought it to a good family, and then how it opened up and became a good boy, you know? And I watched this. It was probably like a 5-minute video, and I was like, cool, and I moved on with my life. Since then, I have gotten just non-stop flood of animals needing to be rescued.
Just not going back.
Because I watched a 5-minute video, and
that's 5 minutes.
I watched the whole video,
be in there.
And because of the time I spent on it, and like they immediately were just like, give him more. And for a while, I kept watching them. I was like, okay, this is nice, like it's cute. But now I'm like, holy crap, calm down. But it's the program. It knows what you're looking at and what you want to keep seeing. And so, yeah.
So one thing I got from it was like I was talking to my dad about it, and I was like, you know, I don't feel like I learned anything like new. I feel like I knew like this was going on, but not to the extent it was, I guess.
Yes.
And then I told him I still don't feel like the answer is just delete all social media. For me, it's like instead of choosing the recommended video or like just falling into the process, like making sure you're choosing what you're doing.
Yeah, it's about more choice. It's tough, and this is they showed what's the guy's name, Mark Zuckerberg, I think, and someone was asking him about something about
wow. Sorry.
They were asking about the problems with this, and he was talking about how they just need to rework the code or rework the program. And then it cut back to like the main guy who worked at Google, who's like really against this, and he's like, it's not just a reworking of the program that's going to fix this. And I realized that how true that was, because it doesn't matter what goal you change the program to, it'll take it too far.
Right.
And it's not like it's taking it too
far. It'll become too good at it.
Exactly. It's learning. It's understanding how to do things more efficiently, better. And so it's going to take it too far. So it really does have to be us. And just like being more aware of what we're doing online.
And I think it's really interesting because you mentioned like how it's causing a lot of polarization.
Yeah.
Because there was a scene where they talked about how, like how do these people not know this, or like this is everywhere on the news, right? But like to them it's not.
Yeah.
Because they're seeing completely different articles, videos, news feeds. Like because it's personalized, everyone's seeing something different. So it's like we're almost not in the same world, right?
When I was doing my research paper on conspiracy theories, I was doing a lot of searching on that, and obviously I was looking for, like in the Fulton Library and like actual real sources and real studies about it. But I was also looking.
You weren't going to Wikipedia?
But I was also looking on YouTube just because I wanted both perspectives,
right?
You know. So I was just going to these random guys, and so for a while I was getting a lot of and I still do occasionally get these recommended of just like, you know, flat Earth something or like crap like that. Birds aren't real, although that one's true. So I mean, whatever.
Obviously,
but like, it's crazy that like. Because you feel like when you see it and it's just like one thing in your feed, you're like, why would anyone believe that? But like, but I think about how it was almost like a slow growth of it for me. And obviously I was doing deliberate research on it, so it's not like I was like, what does this mean? And plus I'm pretty much cynical and skeptical of like every single thing I see online. So I most of the time don't really believe anything, which is a problem in and of itself. But like, it was really just like I started looking for it, and at first there's just like a few things here and there, but then it just like it was like what you saw in the video with the one kid in the weird political group he started following, where it was just suddenly like just huge, and it was just everything I was looking at, and I was just like, well, of course then, like if someone just happened upon one of these videos, watched it, and then got more and then more and then more, and then soon it's all they're ever seeing, that's going to be what they're believing.
So it's crazy because I noticed this before I watched The Social Dilemma, but like say on YouTube, if I all of a sudden became interested in something new, I'd have to search for it the first time.
Yes.
But after that first time, it was just always there. I was like, this is great. Like it just knows I want to watch this now. But like now after watching that, I'm like, I don't know if I like that.
So, okay. Because one of the recommendations was the one that you said, which is don't like pick selected videos, selected things, or recommended things. I mean,
right.
But
what if it's what you want to watch anyways?
Exactly. So, is there a way to be deliberate and conscious of what you're doing? Because I think what it comes down to, at least on a personal level, is being conscious about what you're doing.
Right.
It's when you get sucked into that, like, 3 a.m. clicking on the next YouTube video just because you saw it. You don't even care about what's happening anymore, but you're just clicking and clicking. It's when you're sucked into that I think it's a real problem. Because then you're on it for hours. It's becoming a problem. It's affecting
right, they got
your
you
mental
hooked
health.
At that point.
Yeah, that's when it's, like, really bad. But if you're being conscious about it, what do you think? What's your opinion on, like, selecting that recommended video that is still about the thing you want to watch? Is it worth it? Is it worth the risk?
Okay. Speaking from experience, I've clicked the video because I'm like, that sounds awesome.
Everyone has.
I feel like it's hard not to be like, you could just say, well, just search the video again, right? But then it's like, there's no difference, right?
Right.
I think as long as you're aware what the consequences are, and you know what's going on behind the scenes, then sure.
Okay.
So there's a quote that they had in the video, which I really liked, and it was, if you're not buying a product, you are the product.
Yes.
And I feel like that's the mentality you should have when going on to these social media websites.
You're the product there?
Yeah.
And just understanding that and keeping an awareness of
you're
what
a product,
you're doing.
You're going to be treated like one, so.
It's definitely, I mean, as I've done online things since these past 2 days since watching it, I've got that image in my mind that they kept going back to, where it's like the room with the 3 people analyzing the kid watching everything.
And he's just like going back and forth.
Yeah,
looking at different
that's
stuff.
what I have in my mind now, is just like sliding through, and it's just like, that's me right now. And it's not necessarily bad. It is what the program's designed to do, but you need to be aware and active in how you...
You have to know when it goes too far, right?
Yes.
You have to know this is not... when it's not okay and when it is.
I think something that I want to try to start doing is... I think most phones nowadays, at least, have like that like digital well-being kind of thing in the systems, where it's just like it tells you how long you've been on stuff. I think that's definitely worth like looking at, because they showed like those kids who were the children of that one professor, and like the one kid's like, oh, I'm on my phone like an hour and a half a day, and then his sister's like,
and then it was
really?
like 5 or something.
It's you were on for like 3 hours, just barely, and it's like that's kind of how it is. Like you're not super aware of it all the time, and so being
you don't
more
understand
aware,
how often you're using it.
Yeah.
Until you look at the number, right?
Yeah. You need to bring that reality check more often. And then if you are consistently like a stupid high number, which I probably am, I think a lot of people probably are.
But it has to be so high.
You need to actively do things that are separate from it. It showed that kid just kind of sitting in his room when his mom was like, go a full week without your phone and we'll replace the screen for you, right? And he just like sat in his room and like rearranged his shoes or something.
Right. All he did was rearrange his shoes once and then like sit on the bed for hours.
You need to actively choose to do something different.
Find something else to do, right? Doing nothing is almost just
read a freaking book. Like go outside.
Or the younger girl in that fictional family.
Yes.
She was addicted to her phone.
She broke open the safe to get it.
Like she just stood up from dinner, went over and smashed the safe to get her phone.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Like that's like, I guess that's like worst case scenario, right?
It's beginning steps of a psychopath right there.
Well, then also showed how she was suffering from depression, almost from not getting enough likes on her photos.
The one bad comment against all the good ones.
Yeah, and that's what stuck with her, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's how it works. And you need to be conscious and aware and just realize. I mean, I don't know how active either of us are on any real social media. I mean, I'm on YouTube all the time.
Yeah, that's where I am too.
But I'm not like, I mean, we're posting, but we don't care.
True.
So
dude.
for us, at least, that's probably less applicable. We just need to focus more on how much time we're spending on these things.
So I have a confession. I never understood Twitter.
What do you mean?
For years, like people love Twitter. I never understood Twitter, but in like the last like 3 weeks, I've been on Twitter more.
Really?
I'm like, no, like, and now I see like
why people
are there. Because at first I was like, I wasn't really following anyone. I didn't care. I'm like, I never posted. I still don't post. I don't post on anything though.
What was...
I intentionally stopped going to Twitter now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm not falling into this. I'm like, there's no way.
What was the thing? I can't remember what they said. It was like one of the specialists on Facebook or something, and they were like, all you need to do is get 10 friends, and we will have you hooked.
Right.
They said something like that.
Yep.
Like, it's that simple.
Because you're part of a community then.
Yeah. That's when...
All of a sudden you're not alone.
Yeah. It makes total sense.
And that goes for every media site.
Oh,
Twitter,
100%.
Facebook, Reddit, YouTube.
My goodness, Reddit. But I mean, yeah, no, it's everything, and it's just a more conscious awareness of what you're doing and how you spend your time, and I think it goes back to when we spoke about like the simple things that help keep your mental health in check. That's everything, you know? It could really just go back to those simple things. If your phone's keeping you awake at night, find a way to get it out of your room. If it's keeping you from doing things, like actively set it aside. Go do something. Read. And I mean, it's kind of hypocritical for us to be saying this, but
we know what's good for us. We just don't do it.
That's everyone, right? That's literally everyone. Everyone just says, I need to spend less time on my phone, probably. I think everyone feels that way, but no one does it.
So just do it.
Just
So we are out of time. I do want to end on just one more short story.
Okay.
Because at the end of the documentary, I was like, I agree this is like an issue, but like, is it really to the extent they tried to make it to?
Right.
And I was skeptical because I feel like it's good to be skeptical in general.
Yes.
Because like it makes you look into it more, it makes you do more research. But so that night, I decided to check Instagram. I check Instagram maybe once a week and just see what's new.
Sure.
And I looked at Instagram and I came across a picture of someone in Japan that I follow. And it was just this really... Bless you.
Sorry. Keep going.
And it was just this really pretty picture with these cherry blossom trees. I'm like, that is so pretty. And so I looked at it for like maybe 7 seconds, right?
Yep.
And then I closed Instagram right after that. 2 minutes later, I got a notification from Instagram recommending me other Instagrammers in Japan.
Wow.
And that's when it hit me that I was like, dude, this is like
That's
actually
exactly
a thing.
what it's like.
Like, so, I don't know, like, if you're skeptical, just look out for those experiences and I'm sure you'll have them.
I mean, that was the other thing they said, turn off notifications on anything non-essential.
Right.
I mean, in general, I don't have notifications on because I just don't like having my phone happen. So, but I mean, like, yeah, I think I would hate to be getting constant notifications from like Facebook or something. I would hate that. The only reason I have Facebook is to talk to people for my mission. So, I mean, my goodness, it'd be so annoying. Anyways.
So I guess at the end, just stay safe on social media and figure out what works for you.
Check out The Social Dilemma. You've probably already heard of it. It was like number 9 on Netflix of like trending or something. I can't remember. It was high up there, man.
Social Dilemma, look it up.
Yeah.
And
buy our merch. Yeah. Check out the new the new PP poster. The PPP.
We have a poster of it now.
Well, until we get it on a shirt.
Fair enough. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm still Zach.
And I'm still Sean.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Speaking, everybody loves to speaking, everybody loves to speak. Well, I just figured, like, I watched that documentary.
I'm so proud of you. You watched the whole thing.
And we'll get into it later, but there needs to be some joy this episode.
You're right.
It's like, oh my gosh, man.
Dude, drama.
Oh, good.
Right. Ah!